is arguably playing the strongest deck in the room. He is one of those Fiendsmith Yubel players. And as I just explained, the last remaining player from France facing off against Zeki here from the UK.
Yeah, Josh unfortunately faltering on the bubble with a 7-3 record and 8-3, I think, yeah. But yeah, he did indeed popularize the White Forest Runick variant. And Zeki is playing it here. Going second, unfortunately, versus Yubel. And Dark Beckoning Beast is indeed a full combo, so we'll see what direction he takes with this. But yeah, lots of 1-2 card combos available in Yubel. We've seen it a couple of times this weekend. And ooh, we have the insulation from any disruption by immediately going into the Phantom of Yubel. He's going to protect our one-card combo. Well, I suppose we had to use one of the Beckoning Beasts material here, so do we have another way to keep going?
I mean, Nightmare Throne will do. And I was about to ask, is Dark Beckoning Beast really just a one-card combo?
Because indeed, you can check out the deck tutorial that we did on the pre-recorded feature.
Yeah. But do you need to play the Chaos Summoning Beast for it, or does it just work without it?
You go Beast for Gate for Beast.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That works. I'm convinced now. That surely works, but there is some Sauri Lotus now even, so we don't even have to worry about any of those things when we also have the Nightmare Throne, making it way more than the one-card combo.
Yeah, the support cards of Yubel for the Spirit, that's going to fish out the Nightmare Pain, destroy the Spirit, and then form a chain with the Throne to bring out lots of different bodies, as well as getting the Squirmer into rotation.
Silly me was thinking that the Divine Beast structure deck didn't have any impact on the metagame, and now here we are with the Dark Beckoning Beast and the opening of the Spirit Gates in there as well.
Oh yeah, if you held on to
Divine,
those,
yeah.
you held on to those structure decks, you'll be very pleased to see the position of Yubel today. There's the Squirmer here, which can special summon itself when we have the Yubel. That can destroy the Yubel for more plays. But first of all, the Throne is going to add the Terror Incarnate. That's going to summon itself out, and as well as getting the OG Yubel out of the deck in the process. You can see here the very, very old school Yubel cards being played. Haven't seen anyone play the third version, have we?
We have.
Ultimate Nightmare?
We have seen someone this weekend.
Really?
It was pretty funny, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether he actually summoned it, but we saw it in their list at least. That was pretty insane.
And also in Master Duel Worlds.
Oh,
that as well, yeah, that's
What does
true.
it offer you? Like, what's the benefit?
Another special summon, I guess.
Okay. Doesn't it, like, miss timing most of the time on the Terror Incarnate?
I mean, you're the Yubel expert here out of us. You made the combo for tutorials, so explain ours, my friend.
When effects and stuff here. But anyway, we are searching out Sharvara.
Absolutely.
I'm very curious if anyone in this tournament used the end phase effect of Terror Incarnate this weekend to win a game. You know, the basically dark hole that it offers you.
Probably, right? Because it actually does come up occasionally, so I would be pretty much sold on that. Also, what I'm really sold on is one thing that Noel is doing, because Noel has included 3 copies of Phantom of Yubel into his extra deck. We saw a couple of people only going with the 2 copies, but I think this card offers you so much. It's not only that powerful monster negation or monster effect change effect, but also every single time, multiple times per turn. You can even recycle it, and you can get all those free Fiend monsters onto the field, linking up with them along the process. So I'm a big fan of just running 3 of them.
I'm really curious what the sacrifice is for the third Phantom of Yubel, because the extra deck is really, really tight. So many engine requirements because of Unchained, because of the Fiendsmiths, most importantly. So yeah, it does offer, I guess, a little bit of grind game. But we are going to progress forward here with the Necroquip Princess, and then most likely going to bring out an Aerial Eater at some point here too. We have an Engraver in hand.
That's even better.
I think we add
another
that back,
appearance of the Necroquip Princess just drawing a card. It's so good when you have the combination like that, when you can sequence it in that way that you can just draw an extra and free card off of that Necroquip Princess.
Now it's really good because you deck thin so much just through the natural combo. Get out the Yubel, the Terror Incarnate, cards you obviously don't want to like draw into. Fish out all of your resources, and then you can use the Necroquip and try and find some kind of non-engine.
That is absolutely true. And I think we did not go for the Shavara yet, did we?
We have it in our hand.
Yeah.
So we could do something with Shavara here. Most likely going to destroy the Squirmer target. Yep, we're going to bring out the Squirmer. That's going to special summon one of the Yubels here. Going to go for Spirit.
True, because that, of course, is one of the main questions that Yubel players right now are asking themselves. Which trap do we run? Do we run the escape or do we run the chamber? And so that question is going to be answered by Noel probably very, very shortly, as he's one of the most successful Yubel players in this tournament, of course.
Yeah, no doubt here as we destroy the Spirit of Yubel, that's going to be able to float. And will we be using Yama?
Maybe
we do
yes,
use Yama.
we are, and I think that the most successful of the Unchained traps this weekend definitely was the chamber, because it just offers so much flexibility. You have the chance to just link off your rage at any point in your combo and use it as an extender, or pop it to add something back.
Ooh, and I mean, honestly, the way we played this year just pretty much indicates already that you have to have chamber in your deck, right? Because clearly you already used the Yama now, which is supposed to be used on your opponent's turn if you have the escape, so I'm pretty much sure that there's going to be a chamber coming.
We've got the Soul of Rage that's being used to recycle back from the hand, from the grave here, getting the Lotus back. We haven't used the special summon effect of the Gates, which could be used to further extend plays. Most importantly, we have 2 level 10s on the field. It's going to be able to allow us to go into Varadras. However, I believe the Sharvara is causing us to be locked into Fiends for now.
Totally.
I'm sure that'll be cleared up in just a second here as we go for another Link summon with the Lurry.
I was going to say, just maybe link it off.
Yep. There's Sequence.
Of course, Sequence is a pretty good Link monster to go into. This looks like Noel studied the spreadsheet very well. There is the chamber. He is really performing this like in a textbook. He is showing you the perfect Fiendsmith Yubel combo that you could imagine.
Yeah, no, this is everything that you end on with the Varadras, the Phantom, the Desiree. Does he play the Caesar, Wave King Caesar?
He does. I'm wondering whether he can still get to bat.
Yeah, because we didn't use Aerial Eater at all, and that's usually a good way to put level 6s on the field. So maybe he's still going to be able to do that. But here is the Fusion Summon of the Sequence, putting back all of these Light Fiends.
I think that we're deciding to go for Desiree. I think you have to decide.
Sometimes you have
to
go
for Desiree or for the Wave King Caesar, and in this case, it looks like it is going to be the Desiree. Playing around something like an evenly matched even more, or actually also playing around the Dark Ruler no more in this case. If there was one in Zeki's deck, he could just chain the chamber and then chain Desiree to that to negate the Dark Ruler no more. This is also something that you do not see every single day. A monster negating Dark Ruler.
That's true. So there is the Dark Beckoning Beast now back to the field. And what Link monster are we even going into now? What are we missing? Okay, Muckraker. Is Muckraker possibly a way to get us 2 level 6 monsters onto the field?
It's a good question because Full took...
Or did we use Engraver?
No.
Yeah, we're fusing with... Oh
no, we're just summoning the Engraver back and now we
then
can
bringing
use
it back to
Muckraker.
Muckraker.
Oh, that's naughty.
Yeah, so...
we do get to Caesar. This is full combo.
He has a family, Noel.
Yeah, I was curious because opening Throne and Beckoning Beast absolutely should get you the full engine. So he did get there eventually, but yeah, the Engraver bringing itself out from the graveyard with its own effect, then the Muckraker discarding to special summon that is also the Wave King Caesar. So, Varadras, negate a card and destroy it, and then further than that, destroy again. Wave King Caesar, double Solemn Warning. Desiree, negate a face-up card. Muckraker, protection. Phantom of Yubel, tribute and negate a monster effect. And Chamber, revive Soul of Rage from the graveyard, linking with your opponent's card into SP Little Knight. I believe that's 7 total disruptions.
Chapeau Noel, our last player from France, really making a name for himself here with that combo, and it is immediately going to be answered by Dark Ruler no more here from Zeki, though.
So we can chain the Trap card and then chain the Desiree, so we need to combo this Dark Ruler with something here in order to play around this, otherwise the Desiree will just turn off the Dark Ruler.
I think he has dropped.
Do we have a quick play?
It is the droplet! There it is! Goodbye to all those cool monster effects.
Oh, wow. Okay, so...
That makes it way worse now, because now the Unchained Soul of Rage is going to be summoned back before the Dark Ruler no more resolves, and is also going to be negated.
Oh my. There's nothing left for Noel all of a sudden.
Risky schmisky.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we can do with But we've used Yama, so I'm not too sure what you can really do here. This has to just be everything.
Yeah.
Now, how are we clearing the field here? No battle phase now because we've activated a Runick. We are discarding for
Okay,
Hugin.
good discard at least, because that is, of course, one of those White Forest cards that will be able to replace itself.
Yeah, so the White Forest cards work by when they are sent from the field or hand, I believe, as well. They can set themselves back onto the field, so essentially they act as somewhat free discard fodder, which is why we've seen them have so much synergy with the Runick deck.
Okay, there's the Runick Fountain, and now
we need some Runick. We need some White Forest starters. We might be able to get into it with the draw of Fountain once we trigger it again, or trigger it for the first time with the second Runick.
Okay, another Runick. That is probably going to mean we're going to get those draws.
Is that Destruction?
It is.
So
okay.
what do you take out? You take the Sacred Beast continues spell.
The opening.
Going for the gates here because it denies some follow-up. We also do get to banish cards off the top of the deck. I think Destruction is 4 copies. Hits us some Samsara the Lotus and some hand traps.
You really, really need to, even if you find some engine, you need to find a way to out this entire field, because yes, it is negated for now, but if you leave it on there, I think you're still going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, no doubt. You do need to make sure that you have a way into your White Forest and try and clear the field here. Okay, that's a LZ, I think.
I'm pretty sure that was LZ, and I'm wondering whether LZ gets us
Is
there.
that enough just by itself?
LZ is being activated now. Discarding Dark Ruler no more. We have plenty of those cards, but do we actually get to play the game with our deck? Okay, LZ now gets resolved. And I mean, it's kind of good because LZ just immediately brings us also probably the Sylvie, right? Or maybe not the Sylvie, but rather the Rusia here. We can decide. Which one are we going to go for? That looks like Rusia. Yeah, that is going to be Rusia of the White Forest.
So this is our tuner access here.
Yes.
So level 6 capabilities. We've also got the Hugin on the field as a 2 to be able to use that as fodder. No battle phase again, remember, because of the Runick cards. So how do we clear monsters in Runick? Let's see what Zeki can do here. Discarding a card here. And that's another droplet gone.
Ask a quick question. Droplet sent the Dark Ruler no more to the graveyard. Why didn't we negate it with Vahudras?
Did we discard a monster?
No, we discarded the Dark Ruler no more. There is no monster in the graveyard.
Oh.
That's a very good question, actually, Leo. You are very right about that.
Well, because the...
No, there's no answer to that.
No, okay, so you can't... You negate the droplet, but then the Desiree doesn't negate the Dart Ruler because it doesn't have the face-up card on the field anymore because we send it with the droplet for cost.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, there's the explanation. True. Absolutely right. Very well explained how that interaction went down.
All right, here is Coral Dragon synchroed with the Hugin. Did we use the effect to destroy something? We have not discarded, so we're just going to sync off here for an 8. Scarlight Dragon Archfiend? Is that a thing? I don't know.
It might be. No, we go for Diabell first.
Okay. We do get a draw from this Coral Dragon. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2.
Yeah, we get to add back one of those. Okay, we just add back the droplet. Fair enough. And also, of course, we draw with Coral Dragon, as you just said. We need some more very impactful cards here.
It's another spell. I think that's a Runick, which could be very good next turn for some disruption and a draw, but just 4 spells in hand, 3 spells in hand, we can't really clear anything. I mean, the Nightmare Pain is also still active, remember, from the Dart Ruler.
Yep. And I mean, I think arguably Nightmare Pain is the more impactful card compared to the opening of the White Gates, or opening of the gates. The problem, though, is, of course, gates can just get the Nightmare Pain back, so you have to get rid of the gates, because the other way around it just doesn't really work, because it just replaces it. Okay, we summon out Hugin.
Can Diabell be treated as a tuner by any chance?
Yeah. No, wait.
We're just going to get another Runick Fountain. Do we have another Runick here to keep on drawing? Keep on getting more cards? I mean, do we need it? I mean, that could just be Chaos Angel, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be a tuner if we just go for Chaos Angel.
Ooh, that's the best one here. Tip.
Oh, we do have Tip still.
We used the Flashing Fire for summon, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what can you really get here that helps pick apart this field? Curse.
Curses is about
don't get
the
curses.
last
Don't get
name
curses.
as well that we can take, right? You can just use it to summon after you go into Chaos
Yeah,
Angel.
okay, I guess. I was just worried because
Yeah.
you
Troll and Lockbird in the main deck from Noel here, by the way.
Okay, 2 draws. So, what can we find off the top here? Now, the exciting part has been concluded. Like, we Dark Ruler Droplet. Like, it beats the entire field. However, we need to find answers here.
Now you need to win. Oh, that was another
Runick
freezing
and a
curse.
Talons.
Oh,
that's
my.
good.
There is no way. Zeki keeps on going. This field looked unbreakable, but Zeki is in the process of maybe really working through this. Is there possibly... Oh, we just keep on drawing. All right, it's so much fun. We just keep on...
Oh,
Skill
wow.
Drain might
And
be
another
huge, actually.
LZ.
But how good is Skill Drain really? Because
Yeah, if Zeki doesn't deal with the Varadras, the skill drain isn't going to be live next turn.
True.
So we must use the Chaos Angel to... Oh, he's going after the Nightmare Pain.
I mean, you can have a cool combination of just going for the freezing curses that we just searched and then chain the skill drain, I guess. That kind of works.
Yeah, I suppose. Now, doesn't that turn off your own Chaos Angel's immunities?
Yeah,
and
but
protection?
It's pretty big, though.
what does
pretty
it have to
big.
be immune from?
Okay. All right, we're passing.
Good question.
Passing. Draw phase is being entered by Noel. Do we immediately go for something? No, Zeki?
I suppose we can see some of the issues with this deck is it doesn't seem to have a way to clear once we've got through that. You're not locked into anything, right? You can synchro for whatever you want, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is really? Like, we don't play, like, Scarlight or something?
I was going to say that sounds like a pretty strong card, or a card that at least helps you to break
He's
fields.
got it in the side deck, funnily enough, but I assume that's for time.
I think the plan here is to activate Skill Drain, then chain Freezing Curses on the Desiree, and when your opponent tries to activate Varudras, you just chain Droplets, send the Freezing Curses to negate the Varudras as well.
Maybe
and
you
then
just do
resolve
the
Skill
same
Drain,
thing
right?
again, you're right.
You just negate all the time now, and everything.
It's also interesting to see that apparently the monster that's equipped to the Desiree didn't quote-unquote fall off when the Dark Ruler got activated, right? Because there were some cards in the past where that was the case, but here it apparently was just still on the field with that, which is relevant here, to be honest.
Okay, so we are summoning SP Little Knight. Did we use the Desiree? We used Desiree. Are we not activating SP?
Oh, are we? Are we not?
No, we're triggering the Desiree to send here. Ooh, that's scary.
Oh, random one.
Ooh, is it the skill
one?
drain?
Which one does he hit? Oh,
If that's the skill, Zeki? Is that...
Looking to the heaven, kind of, huh?
Oh, no, if
Might
that's
have been
skill
a
drain, it's a
miraculous
disaster.
hit.
That's
It is the
terrible!
skill drain. Oh, my. And we also get to banish the Runick Fountain there. Oh, that's rough.
We don't chain the Freezing Curses to negate the SP Little Knight because the Varadras negates the Freezing Curses and then it destroys in the process, but maybe we could have had another Runick card to summon Hugin and protect?
I mean, we could have just chained the SP to the freezing curses, right? There's no real point.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Despite almost picking, or having the tools to pick apart the field here, we haven't quite capitalized on it, and despite Dark Ruler Droplet of all combinations, Noel might still be in this.
He is. He's still going strong.
So the issue here is how do we out Chaos Angel?
You can run over it.
No, you can't.
Oh, it was just summoned with 2 lights.
Oh, was it 2 lights?
I think so. It was Hugin and
Hugin and Diabel, right?
Diabel, yeah.
Yeah, Diabel absolutely is a light monster as well, yeah.
Okay.
But how do you get the attack points?
Do we have an access code?
There is absolutely
the
no
fun
access
thing
code
about
talker.
Yubel is that you don't need to run over things. In fact, the bigger your monster, the better.
Actually, there is still a Nightmare Pain banished, so that doesn't count for every Yubel monster. And if you're playing a one-off, there is basically no way to recover it, so you're in a bit of a pickle here.
Okay, okay. Let's see.
Maybe you should have had the Yubel Ultimate Nightmare in this position, huh?
True.
All right, let's see if Noel can navigate us into an out for this Chaos Angel. So is the light effect of Chaos Angel battle, or is that the one that makes it unaffected? Okay.
Darkest Battle.
Okay.
Is there maybe a spell trap card that could take care of it? I'm just looking at his...
Yeah, how does the Requiem send with
back.
Engraver work? Does that count as a spell effect?
Oh, that's the
Engraver effect.
That's the
Engraver effect when
definitely.
equipped, okay.
I mean, maybe we just keep on hoping for an impermanence, because impermanence is a pretty obvious out to it, right? Then
Yeah,
you can just
but
take care of it otherwise.
Yeah, you're right, but I think there's definitely in-engine ways to get to a way to be a light Chaos Angel.
There's Druid Swarm as well, which is also not an engine way though, so...
Also, that's not an out.
Oh wait, it's unaffected. Oh, it's unaffected, right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so the reflected damage from Yubel, it's just the original Yubel that deals... Well, no, I don't think you need Nightmare Pain. I think Nightmare Pain just offers you the protection, doesn't it?
So the thing is, original Yubel also takes the damage for you, right?
Yeah, okay, so...
So you'd both take the damage.
Yeah, you do need the Nightmare Pain for the Phantom.
And we didn't do it. Back over to Zeki. So it's actually now another turn that he gets here.
I tried this so many times to just summon Chaos Angel and survive one more turn, and it never worked. And Zeki is actually making this true. He's a prodigy of the Chaos Angels.
Should have booked the Zeki Masterclass, I guess.
It
Because
honestly,
he truly knows what to do with that Chaos Angel.
Yeah,
oh,
this
and we
is-
have a battle phase now? We do, right?
Wow.
yeah, we didn't use a Runick last turn. We just let the
Absolutely.
skill drain get sent off. So this is genuinely the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. We just have the Tower of Chaos Angel versus this really intimidating field, but it isn't doing much into an established unaffected Chaos Angel.
And we do not even have to attack the Yubel monsters now anymore, which is massive. That Nightmare Pain, it's gone for good there, being banished permanently.
Choosing to attack the Muckraker and is going to sacrifice Desiree to protect Muckraker. And now the Desiree should be able to send a card here.
And it's not going to be Chaos Angel, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's for sure.
There's the fact.
Gonna hit a back row here, targeting this.
And gone is the freezing curses now.
I think he has another one in hand, right? The question is, oh wait, he only has one more fountain, but in graveyard, so I think...
Yeah, he has to go for Jerry if he wants to retrieve the fountain. But it looks like we're just passing here.
I mean, Noel
Right?
didn't find an answer last turn. How is he going to find one this turn?
Yeah.
Plus,
it
he
looks
also
very
has,
stale.
he has the droplet, so if there is a monster that can run over the Chaos Angel, it might not be able to in the damage steps.
Yeah, and I mean, you were asking what kind of sacrifices we made for including free Phantom of Yubel. And I mean, one of those sacrifices is Access Code Talker, which would have been a good answer here to make a monster big enough to run over that Chaos Angel. Guess what? It's not in his extra deck. So we are struggling right now. We're struggling very hard. And Noel really doesn't look like he has a real plan besides just drawing into an Imperm or something here.
I think he's going to have to get the original Yubel out from under the Varadras and then bring it back.
But
Somehow, because the Nightmare Pain's a one-of and it's now banished. I don't believe there's a way to retrieve the Nightmare Pain.
Yeah.
So we are in a bit of a chess match right now.
Attacking the Muckraker. Okay, we protected it last turn, and now we're just going to give it up.
because if you don't, you lose at some point, right? Because it is still
Yeah.
2,500 damage each single time. 3k left on Noel's side here. There's already 4 cards in hand. Now you're almost having card advantage on the side of Zeki just by sitting on a Chaos Angel. 3 cards are being sent, 1 card left in hand. Now now it looks like it's absolute control. This is not only waiting on your Chaos Angel anymore. This is controlling the game at this point.
It is. It absolutely is. Zeki looks comfortable. Noel's facial expression has also changed. He was very, very happy after performing that big textbook combo, and now he sits there staring down that Chaos Angel, which seems unoutable right now for him.
This is genuinely a staring competition as both players try and dig towards their outs here. Zeki is trying to establish a way to Jerry to then retrieve the fountain and then begin rolling those Runicks through fountain to draw, whereas Noel is, I suppose, trying to, I don't know, draw into an out? Yeah, I mean, there must be something we can do with our engine here, right? We've got a Fiendsmith Engraver on the field here, recycling.
And if he hasn't found it now, also good for him that Zeki doesn't have access to the Runick Fountain, because as soon as Noel starts setting cards, I would do my best if I was Zeki to get my hands on a Runick Destruction and get rid of the impermanence before it can resolve, because this Chaos Angel is your ticket to the semifinals.
Oh, no doubt. And this is a really long game one here. This is real back and forth as these players, experienced in their own right, try and navigate through such a situation to be able to deal with each other's real, like, sticky field here.
Also, another thing, you said a possible win condition for Noel is to get the Yubel from under the Varudras, but if he attacks with Yubel into Chaos Angel, he now just loses. Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, wait, no, you don't take battle
you
damage.
take the
do you?
damage too.
I don't think you do.
Do you know? You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. That's like pretty much
maybe
all
I
the
just
Yubel
can't
says, right?
read.
Yeah.
Okay, is
That's the
this
Yubel way, the Yubel thing.
the link summon here? What can we go for? A new heaven? We're gonna go for sequence.
Sequence. It almost feels like the last extra deck card left in the extra deck for Noel because he went through so many. Now using the effect of sequence, though, meaning, oh, we recycled the good old Desiree one more time. Yeah, looks like it.
I think
Yeah.
we just do that every turn now, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the crazy thing about Fiendsmith. It does just completely recycle itself, so you can kind of keep doing it every turn here. But to what end, really? I mean, do you just keep picking apart back row with the Desiree? That feels weird, right? Gonna leave it up as a negate here. Definitely not big enough to protect against the Chaos Angel. It's not protected from battle or anything, right?
Nope. Attacking over the Caesar.
Okay. So Caesar is the next step here because that's going to negate Runick spells from special summoning. But yeah, just setting 5 here for Zeki.
This is crazy. This is madness.
Skill Drain is gone now. We did see the one-of that has been sent to the grave by the Desiree in a previous turn here. Less than 19 minutes left on the clock. This is just game 1.
Also, the thing is, we know from Zeki that he should have another Freezing Curses and Forbidden Droplet, if I'm...
Yeah, I think we added the droplet back with Diabel, didn't we?
At which point are we going to start to try play?
Maybe Zeki just feels like Null's the one who needs to take initiative here, and I suppose just puts the onus of responsibility on Null to try find an answer. Because you just have like 5 back row. I mean, I don't think Null's going to deal with a Chaos Angel through 5 responses. But I mean, we are potentially risking getting hit with Desiree and Varadras. So Tractor's going to bring out Lurie here. What's left? We've got a Phantom, we've got a Closed Heaven, we've got an Aerial Eater, and I believe a Requiem.
Oh, Noel.
In the
Oh, he's
extra deck.
passing again, and he looks helpless right now. Noel, really? Oh, I think he was checking with the judges how much time there's left, because that is becoming more and more of a concern. Oh, we attacked the Varudras, meaning we can use the graveyard effect here, or is it just with card effects? Oh, is Varudras only going off when you destroy by card effect? Because we're not bothering to use the effect right now.
When you negate and destroy a card, it then destroys another card, right?
No, it's also...
Can pop.
If this Exceed Summon card is destroyed, you can destroy 1 card on the field, but we just choose not to do that. All right, it's game though. Game number 1 goes to...
Cool. It's a lot more combo heavy, I want to say, in some ways.
Oh my. I for a moment thought Zeki might have actually had to go first, following your call there. But wait, Noel doesn't... Zeki, I think you were completely right. I think Zeki is the one going first here.
Then he just
Why would he
discarded
Perulia?
Perulia.
Unless this is turn 2?
You
Hold
can just use this card for a Hugin discard. You know that, right? That is.
Oh no, wait, now Noel is going back into the tank. Okay, because Noel was just sitting there not really thinking about his hand. But now he has to think even harder with that Perulia resolving on him.
No, he's locking in here, deciding how far of a combo he can do with a Perulia. There's 1 draw.
Yep.
Samsara the Lotus.
Oh, there is another Perulia in hand, so could
Yeah.
have dropped both.
Oh, so I think that was the delay there, right? Zeki was just thinking about whether he wants to just go in and drop both of them.
So one of the things that you can do with double Perulia in these situations is you can activate 1 Perulia. Your opponent's probably going to feel inclined to play, but then when they inevitably get to a part where they do sort of activate and affect that special summons from the hand, you chain the second Perulia and then you get the double value.
Hello, gruesome Great Skirma, huh? That
yeah,
might be
exactly.
the case.
Whereas the issue with activating double Perulia immediately, your opponent might just be like, okay, pass, I'm just going to let you go -2.
Yeah, especially against the Runick variant where you know, hey,
They
you're
need card
probably not going to beat me in 1 turn.
Yep, and they need the
Absolutely.
card advantage, of course. Very important for things like discarding with Hugin. So here comes the Nightmare Pain, destroying the Spirit of Yubel. It's going to add a... Ooh, are we adding Terror Incarnate? Oh, we might just be going for Phantom Pass.
Oh yeah, I think that is the plan. There is Yubel coming. But definitely, I think Noel knows that there is a second Perulia waiting, because what would Zeki think about there?
But there must be something better than Phantom Pass, right? Because you can just always go into the Fiendsmith engine that doesn't special summon anything from hand. You can set up a Desiree.
Let's see.
So we've used the normal summon on Lotus.
Yeah, we keep on going. You are right. This could be Yama. This could be the Fiendsmith engine. What are we going for? Yep, it's just Moon of the Closed Heaven and then the Requiem.
To be honest, Yama would require you to go into Shavara, which is another special summon from hand.
That's true.
Yeah, I want to be minimizing all of your specials from hand with this turn here. Didn't search out the Squirmer because, yeah, you just don't want to give your opponent any value for that. There might be a world where Null wants to do one more special summon from the hand, but that's going to be the perfect opportunity to chain the second Purulia, so we'll see if that comes up here.
To be honest, that one would also just be an upstart Goblin then.
Look, here we are again. There is Phantom number 2.
It would be 2 draws. Because one
yeah, but
Purulia
you discarded another card.
I mean, yeah, Upstart's still a good card.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right, we're going to go into Phantom of Yubel using the Terra Incarnate from the hand, and then, oh wow, we're just linking again. Gonna go sequence this time?
Probably, right? Just going for Desiree Passman at that point.
Gosh, going through 3 Phantoms turn 1 is...
That was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, we're probably still going to end on one,
yeah, that's the thing. So, that's a lot to commit to, especially in a duel where you probably expect some sort of a grind game to happen here.
But I mean, that's why he's playing 3, right?
You would think so, for sure.
Maybe has some experience with the White Forest matchup here. All right, looks like we're going to go Desiree, set a card.
And I mean, let's be honest, is that much better than just Phantom Pass? I mean, it's a little better, but not really that much better, is it?
I suppose you've cycled through your cards.
Yeah.
Your deck, rather, trying to see some non-engine for the following turns to deal with back row.
Oh man, and Zeki Shaw sitting here in top 8, just casually drawing Runick tip for turn. Yeah, that is how you do it.
There is also like a talents in there. There is a lot of stuff going on. And also, the Nightmare Pain is just absolutely vulnerable here. He has seen last game how good it is, and now versus just a Desiree, it's probably going to be even easier to remember.
Oh my. The Yubel jump scare there being banished for the Runick tip.
Okay, it's not too bad because Spirit of Yubel does summon from banishment as well, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure she does, yeah.
It does.
Okay. Still, it's usually quite shocking to see.
What is jump scare here in my ears next to you as well, though?
Yeah, no, Runick definitely doesn't banish the important pieces, am I right? We'll see how many we can take off with this, but here is Fountain. Did we tip for Fountain?
I think so, yeah.
Classic.
And anything? Do we have any powerful trap cards that we brought in? There isn't really any. Oh, I mean, Leo, it could be time for your most favorite card of all time.
Pearly?
Cosmic Cyclone possibly could be going in here. On that Runick Fountain, possibly. Oh, we're discarding the Purulia. Is it? Cosmic? Is there a way?
It's kind of awkward
chaining
here.
the Desiree. There comes Runick Destruction, and I mean, that kind of deals with the Desiree as it takes away its equip spell. But Effect Veiler as Chainlink number 4.
Oh,
there is weak Cosmic Cyclone. I told you! Last but not least, perfectly planned, mapped out turn there by Noel, knowing how it's going to go down, and last, the most important card comes down.
And that were so many resources that were invested there. But the thing is, there are still 2 cards in hand for Zeki, and I know that one of them is triple tactic talents. You can continue drawing or doing whatever you want in this situation. You can also take the Desiree and then, I don't know, go into SP, but I think there is still play for Zeki here.
No, that was just an incredible sequence of plays there. So the Desiree attempted to negate the face-up Fountain. We chained Destruction to destroy the equip to then prevent the Desiree from negating because it negates on resolution up to the number of equips. But we had the Cosmic Cyclone for the Fountain anyway. Here's the talent. So we're going to draw, we're going to take. Does indeed go for a draw.
Okay.
Is that a Phantasme?
Yeah, that is absolutely a Phantasme.
I thought it was a White Forest monster, which would have been great, but I think that Phantasme is
nothing.
Not that good. Oh, there's Typhon coming, though, clearing the extra monster zone. That's smart. Also, immediately going to clear the Desiree right after.
Yep. I mean, you don't really profit this turn from clearing the extra monster zone. No way. And it's summoned in a defense position as well when you can't attack anyways.
When there's one Veiler, there's always another. That's Joel's motto, basically. No, not Joel's, Noel's, of course, but here comes reset 2 and pass back to Noel it goes, and this time he doesn't have to fight through that also important Purulia that was activated on turn number 1.
There's still Nightmare Pain.
It is.
2 set cards. Nightmare Pain could potentially be live. We could use the Infinite Impermanence maybe to negate the Desiree and then stop the Nightmare Pain if we so desire. There's a reason maybe we put that in that column. Let's see how much Null has to keep playing here. Fiendsmith engine recycling and being used.
I mean, we can just, yeah, we can immediately make sure that the Desiree is going to be equipped again, and Zeki goes for Runick Destruction. It's not the Impermanence, but it still gets rid of the Nightmare Pain. And now the question is, Noel, with only 2 more cards in his hand, is there anything in terms of follow-up? Is there anything more in terms of engine? Because he really, really needs it here. Third Veiler being banished by that Runick Destruction here.
Head off the top as well, so that's going to deny some Yama combos.
And a Beckoning Beast that is going to give access to the opening of the Spirit Gates, which can recycle the Nightmare Pain from the graveyard.
All right, there's still some options here.
That is Necro-Equipped Princess, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Oh no, it's just, we're just going to link it off into Requiem, of course. At the end of the day, a Light Fiend, right?
Yeah.
Desiree Send.
True, the Graveyard Effect. That's massive, actually, if we have another play in hand.
This engine is completely crazy. The flexibility that you have once you add these Fiendsmith cards to your deck is just massive, and I think that this might be a turn where we're going to deal some damage, which is going to come into play rather soon, because there's only 6 minutes left, and now we're going
to special summon with the Freezing Curses.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. The Fiendsmith is such a Swiss Army knife of a deck. It's able to provide offense, resilience, versatility. You can deal with your opponent's monsters. You can create big, crazy fields. Yeah, no, it's an incredible addition to this deck.
It really do be. Wait, actually, how does the negate with our good old Typhon work? Is it 3,000 attack or more? It is, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Because, I mean, Desiree just was a little under, right? 2,800, almost being negated, because we have to remember that also the Graveyard effects, of course, would be negated by Typhon, but it was not big enough, so we could use the effect.
Yeah, Typhon had a little problem in this matchup, given that most of the cards that Noel is playing are 0 attack monsters.
Yep, and now it's gone as well.
And Graver is so good.
You can really see how much the Cosmic Cyclone is putting in work specifically in this matchup, right? Because the Jerry can't retrieve anything.
Oh, and all gates are open again, as Nightmare Throne was one of the engine cards left, and then destroying Spirit of Yubel from the deck.
I mean, it's just incredible, right? The Fiendsmith cards alone dealt with 2 cards. Then you just have Throne to be able to continue there.
Wow, we get to summon out Yubel through the effect from Spirit of Yubel, as we were mentioning earlier. That easily goes also from the Banished Zone.
Banishment.
True.
Yeah, Banishment now, as we like to call it.
And the Gruesome Grave Skirmer too. That is so much that we're going to get here. That is so many monsters. And honestly, we talked about there not being access code Talker in the extra deck of Noel. It is in the side deck though, and when you're playing it against a back row deck like this, it's probably going to be one of those cards you want to bring in, right?
No, I think you're absolutely right. You know, despite the fact that Null was going first, I think in this specific matchup, access code just has a lot of value.
You can always
go
side out
Yama here. Whoa! Don't pick up your deck.
Oh, it's in the banishment.
It is in the banishment.
Phantasma is still a Link monster, of course. We can finally activate that Phantasma.
Yeah, so when a monster is Link summoned, you can special summon Phantasma, and that's going to draw 2 and put 1 back.
Oh yeah, I think one of them was a Perulia. Straight back to the deck it is.
I think it was a White Forest monster and a... Yeah,
Dark Forest was a Dark Roulette Perulia, yeah.
Was it Perulia? I think it was a White Forest card.
Why would you shuffle back the White Forest card?
I don't think he did. But maybe I was just also seeing...
I'm 100% sure there's Dark Roulette in the sand, yeah.
I trust you.
Targeting protection offered from the Phantasma potentially, if necessary. And I think we don't have a battle phase next turn, so that's also something to keep in mind here, because we did use the Runick on this one.
Destruction.
Squirmer in the grave brings out Yubel. And I mean, 3 minutes left on the clock. Cosmic Cyclone, huge impact, but also a price of 1,000 life points for it, and therefore we're currently behind, so Noel has to find a way of dealing damage here.
It's looking at this Jerry, and I'm scratching my head thinking how you out this Jerry without triggering it. It might be a little bit difficult, especially with a target protection of Phantasma. And yeah, the 1,000 life point cost from the Cosmic Cyclone technically has Zeki in the lead here. So I mean, if we hit 0 on the clock, then Zeki will take this down 2-0.
Ooh, Aerial Eater though. Good way to extend here. using the effect of sequence to fusion summon it out. We were missing the Aerial Eater on the first duel, but this time we go for it.
Aerial Eater, great addition. Sending the Fiendsmith Engraver from the deck here.
I really like that not every deck just summons out Appaloosa all the time to play around monster effects, because now something like Jerry's protection effect, or the destruction effect rather, is going to be a lot more relevant. You can't just protect yourself that easily by putting away the sequence and the armor to summon out Appaloosa. You actually have to play around a lot more stuff.
Yeah, but okay, look, we're in the battle phase, and I think we can secure enough damage here coming through to go ahead in life points, because we can only send one of those monsters. Yep, Gary a fact, getting rid of one, and then there is going to be massive damage coming through, and you gotta remember, Zeki doesn't even have a battle phase to strike back next turn, so that attack from Engraver is really, really, really crucial and important for Noel right there.
Yeah, and over 1,000 damage done means that even a Moonin can't help you when you're just sitting on that, but I mean, Noel just has so many resources. A single card in hand from Zeki won't cut it.
Noel is at 7,000 life
Yeah,
points, so
Moonin would do it, but we would have to get to that point.
He needs to rely on Moonin otherwise. If he has a battle phase on his first turn, basically, where he can break the field and skip the battle phase, then he kind of has a battle phase on default turn.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think you're really going towards that battle phase goal. You're playing a Runick deck. That's just a niche scenario that you're looking at the battle phase. I don't think you want to bring yourself into that position. You need those Runick cards. There's just like half of his deck are Runick cards. How are you going to break the opponent's field without them? You just need to probably go with Moonin.
I mean, you can do that now.
Yeah.
You can use them to break the field now, but if you start with the Runick cards, you don't have a battle phase afterwards.
You're right, that's true. Let's see how this develops. Also, of course, with a little bit of a debate here on whether you keep in those cards or whether you get them out of your main deck. But of course, Noel and Zeki, they are the ones that are going to answer those questions here. They are the ones where it's important, because they are going to be the ones playing this out.
All right, so yeah, just double checking, since apparently we were yapping with the decision of the dice roll. You do get a dice roll, however, it is still going to be 4 turns. So that's confirmed for sure. It isn't going to be end of phase here. So yeah, this is turn number 1. And yeah, Noel is going through his combo. Looking pretty convincing with the Samsara Lotus beginning. No 2-card combo as of yet displayed. And as we've seen, Zeki does not have too many hand traps, or at least none being used yet, so we could potentially see a repeat of that game 1 with that Droplet Dark Ruler combo. Oh, it is a 2-card combo. We've got Nightmare Throne.
Noel doesn't make jokes. Noel is here to perform the biggest combos of the tournament, and he did that in game 1, and he's ready to do it again here.
The thing is, I saw in Zeki's hand that he has like loads of Runick cards. I saw one trap card, which might be an evenly match, which might be something else, because, you know, we haven't known what we are going to be playing, if we're going to play go first or go second. And this, I think this is a card that you keep in even if you might go first, right? Because you can always discard it with Hugin.
Yeah, for sure.
But this, I don't know, this seems kind of...
You know what's a very interesting card against Yubel? Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, because they're summoning so many monsters with 0 attack, so you would really have to wait for a super specific moment, right? You just have to wait for Shavara. That's what I was thinking as well. You just got to wait for that specific moment, and at that point, they already did so much, so I don't even really know how big of an impact that card would be anymore, but it doesn't seem like or feel like Zeki has access to that card anyways.
Dogwood seems particularly weird against Yubel. You do have to make... I mean, it would have been... Yeah, I'm just thinking, because like any monster they summon is usually going to be 0 attack, and you can risk having your turn pass there. So if you do wait for the Shavara, I'm just wondering, maybe by that point you've already established a Phantom?
Yeah, that's the thing. Absolutely. So don't really know whether the card even is good to keep around versus that deck, honestly, because it really feels like it has such a small usage, and yeah, it might just be too late. But let's see.
Zeki has a lot of hand traps in the side deck here, and either he hasn't brought them into this matchup or just hasn't drawn them, which is going to be really unfortunate. We already saw Perulia. There's a bunch of other things as well here that hasn't been used. So here is the Shavara destroying the Spirit of Yubel. It's going to bring out Yubel from the grave here. Oh, triggering Yama, actually. Brings back the Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel brings out Yubel, and that's 2 level 10s.
That is true. And you know what? A card that we could totally see here as well is another Fiend. Not a Light Fiend, but a Fire Fiend in the side deck of Noel. And I think we might see some Resonators in this game as well. But who knows? Is he going to get to that point or not? Probably the way into that would be Aerial Eater, I would assume. You just send it with Aerial Eater and then bring it back with Muckracker. Red Resonator is the card that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
probably right.
That's a solution, yeah. You know, you're absolutely right. We'll see if that actually comes up here. I don't know how much time cards are necessary for Null. That's the thing, though. It's probably worth it, but I'm just thinking, like, if you just power through a powerful enough field, then you don't really need to worry too much about time, because you are guaranteed a battle phase, but maybe only one isn't enough as we cycle through sequence
Your
here.
opponent is playing Field Breakers and Runicks.
Exactly.
I think that you're very good to go if you gain like 2k life points at some point.
Very much. I think so as well, because going for all those crazy fields is just going to suffer against all the Runicks, but also the Dark Ruler and the Moors of the world. And those cards also just leave them without a battle phase and without dealing really damage. So I could see that Resonator coming down here for sure. Is that going to be a fusion summon right there?
Let's find out.
Like
first of all, we are just going to establish our...
Did he maybe side out something that he needed there?
Oh?
Did he side out for Rudras? I think we wanted to go for the Rudras there.
Huh.
There's no way.
Is that a thing?
I mean, you have to bring in cards. And there is probably access code, but you're never ever going to... It must be that there is no Varudras. He's going through it. I think I saw Caesar, and that was the only Exceed monster.
He motioned to overlay, and he didn't. So it has to be a Varadras that he's forgotten that he's sided out.
I mean, what are you bringing in for it? I see Unchained Soul of Anguish and Access Code Talker plus Nightmare Phoenix being the only options in his side deck that are for the extra deck. And do you, like, you do value Access Code Talker, but do you value it more than that Varudras?
You thought maybe he's going second.
Yeah.
And the Varudras hasn't helped him in the first game.
It could be a Wave King Caesar. That would be a good card to side out instead of Varadras for sure.
But I saw an Exceed, and I think that was the Wave King Caesar
It
there.
negates 2 Runicks, though. So
I suppose, but the thing is, like, you have to really, you know, open Insane for the Wave King Caesar combo.
Okay,
so
but
I
this
don't
is
know.
the Aerial Eater. Oh, no, wait, that's just the Caesar there. Look at it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it just there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's definitely not sided out both of them, so...
That's for sure. I hope for him. But I'm pretty sure I saw an Exceed monster, but that is Necroco Princess, first of all. So do we have a way to maybe also trigger the draw effect of the Princess here?
Doesn't look like it. We're going to go for a Link Summon using the 6 and the 10.
Cracker.
Oh, sequence. Sequencing through this turn here is Noel. Last French player left in the tournament. Can he keep it going for this French YCS here, for this Jubilee YCS? Oh, there is Desiree.
Oh, wow. We're not going for Aerial Eater here, so we're not going to go Red Resonatoring.
Very, very interesting altogether.
Yeah, we're going to go for Desiree, it looks like. That's 3 materials being sent and shuffled back from sequence. So yeah, there's Desiree. We're going to be able to negate a face-up card. How much do we value that over the Resonator combo? Maybe you didn't bring it in? I feel like you would. But perhaps it's 4 turns. Feels like the life gain isn't necessary.
Honestly,
He definitely had the combo, he just didn't go for it.
Against a Runick deck that plays Field Breakers, I think leaving some of the...
Tantric, okay.
Keeping stuff like that instead of completely extending your hand into your field does feel kind of good for me, I think, if you're
okay, we get to draw off the Princess now. It's still on the field, and now we discard it, and therefore... we didn't activate it, though. No.
Did he forget? It's optional?
No, not like this, of course. I'm pretty sure it's optional, yeah. Necroco Princess says, yes, you can activate.
Well, it's a little bit of a snowball situation for No here. I think realizing the Varadras out has maybe caused a couple of missteps and the nerves to come out.
But I don't think that the end field necessarily matters in this matchup, because you either win because your opponent can't break your field or you don't. And if they are able to break your field, they're basically able to break every field.
Yeah, I'm probably agreeing on that, but let's see.
Either they have Dark Ruler and drop it or not. It's 50-50.
I mean, yeah, the thing is you need to combo them. You can't really deal with just one, right? With the Desiree. However, I mean, I guess like you did
giving
expect.
up Muckracker now too. All right, over to Zaki. turn. First extra turn of this very special top 8 match here. Third game, no more games after this, but still a couple more turns in theory.
This is turn 2 out of 4. If you're just joining us wondering what's going on here, time has been called. And we are in top cut with the time having been called in the middle of side decking. So we performed a dice roll to see who would go first. And Noel opted to go first here, and Zeki is now on his first turn, 2 turns each. That's a fountain for a freezing curse on the Wave King Caesar.
And I think that's particularly interesting. It looks like Zeki is trying to fish for a draw here, some kind of, but there's also still the Desiree. Maybe he's also trying to lure out an interaction, because I can see, oh no, I can see double talents, a trap card, and I can see another fountain in hand here. So he really...
Fountain for 1 it is. So we're really in need of a good draw here.
Let's go
Zeki, what are you getting here?
Another
I think
Runick
it was another
card.
Runick. So
Slumber.
So maybe just the same thing again with the fountain and another Runick?
Goodness. He knows that there is talents in the deck of Zeki on Noel's side. So he is definitely aware of that. I think if your opponent plays the first turn like that, you're also very much inclined to just negate the fountain. However, I do agree on letting it go here to play around the triple tactic talents.
Yeah, negating one single fountain draw feels weird, especially when you've got 5 other cards in hand, potentially 4 other cards in hand.
This is such a bad hand on Zeki's side.
Yeah. And it must feel even better for Noel when he sees now that there's another Runick fountain, because that is kind of giving him the tell there is not much going on in the opponent's hand. And so we're going to go for the Runick Slumber next. And
does he have impermanence? Because that would be very, very...
we're negating it now? Did we activate Desiree? Oh my.
Negates both cards, and now we have triple tactic talents live. Do we have an answer for that card? Is there maybe an Ash Blossom in the hand of Noel if he's even playing it?
Ash Blossom does seem like a good card to keep in this matchup, honestly, for the amount of draws that this deck has. But just double checking the text on Nightmare Pain there. And yeah, I feel like this talent absolutely needs to be draw.
Get those 2 cards. Pot of Greed your way to victory, or keep an open field for Noel to attack it. What is your option here? Zeki is going to activate
draw
it.
time, triple tactic talents. We need to draw cards.
What does
and they
Pot of
need
Greed
to
do?
be good as well. What are they? 1
Tip.
and 2.
Wow, that is
Tip and
already
curses.
Those are phenomenal cards in this situation.
Curses is pretty bad, but the tip at least is really good.
I mean,
I'm not sure what you do with it. That's the issue, right? Because Fountain has been negated.
Gary.
Yeah, you can Gary retrieve it and then try and resolve it for 2 again.
But there's also the
No,
Phantom of
we
Yubel.
already activated the freezing curses. That's what you have to realize. There's only one Runick spell that was picked up. That is not that great.
That's the one that's already shuffled.
Yeah. So I think by drawing the freezing curses there alongside the tip, that's going to be a problem. But at least the tip first of all.
Yeah, so the Wave King Caesar has been negated by freezing curses. Desiree has used his effects on this face-up fountain. So we have a monster effect remaining with Phantom of Yubel, as well as the Soul of Rage in the Grave.
Valor gone.
We have not seen any Whitewoods cards is the problem.
No. At all in any game.
I mean, game 1 there were some.
We saw
game
an
1 there
LZ,
was,
but that's it.
He hasn't been White Foresting a lot for sure.
I mean, LZ into the good old Rusia was a crucial part of getting to the Chaos Angel, though. And also the Diabell put in massive work from
I
the
take
extra
back
deck.
everything.
So I think game 1 was massively influenced by those cards, but we have to set 4 cards and give it back over to Noel. Seems like turn number 2 out of 4 is now over officially. And that Caesar, even though it was negated the entire turn, there was not even a special summon it would have had to negate.
But the Desiree only negates until the end of turn. This is not a Salik-ish permanent negate, so the Runick Fountain is going to be able to get some more draws for Zeki on the turn 2 of Noel. This is going to be Noel's last turn with a battle phase for the time being as well.
The most important thing for Noel to do this turn is to try and do damage.
Yeah.
Any kind of damage here will be enough unless Zeki comes back and does some damage, which I highly doubt in a Runick deck. So Zeki needs to try and survive, and Noel has to try and just do anything.
I'm
very curious to see how this turn plays out, because yes, you have very good tools to defend your life points. There is, however, also Nightmare Pain, and I think that he searched a Destruction with the Runick tip at the end of last turn. So he should be able to wall for a little bit with the Freezing Curses, summoning out something, trying to get some more draws. I mean, this is going to be a crucial one. You have to... negating the Wave King Caesar. All right.
Okay, right away too.
I figured that you're trying to use Destruction on Pain and then negate the Desiree, try to get some more draws.
It doesn't really feel like the Freezing Curses does that much, right? Because this turn, how many monsters are they going to special summon? Okay, there is now the Destruction taking care of the Sequence as an equip spell to the Desiree.
That means that the Nightmare Pain is going to live to see another day, causing a kerfuffle.
Yes.
And the most important thing here is that the Fountain gets to resolve.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cards off the top here.
All of the cards.
Basically.
Nothing important.
One of opening banished, definitely noteworthy, but the field, of course, already created. Fountain for free, that would be. Yes, and we are we having a response?
He needs to find plenty of Runicks, no?
No, we are going to draw free cards. That's crazy.
Yeah, Runicks are what we need here, and very important ones that need to be drawn. I think there's a... No, did we use the Slumber as the Slumber set? Because Slumber can prevent one of these monsters from attacking.
We did use Slumber, so drawing Slumber would be good, and then of course the Flashing Fire. So those are the cards you really want to see.
Spooky Dogwood.
Ooh, okay.
Spooky Dogwood Slumber, so Null might potentially risk running into that Dogwood, but there is a lot of damage on the field here. I don't think you try and commit to anything.
Oh.
There's also Woes of the White Forest set, so there is a potential Runick tip. That's one of the Runicks that you're trying to find there.
That's massive. And I mean, either Slumber or
Flashing Fire,
Flashing Fire would be here. And there it is, Flashing Fire to the hand of Zeki, to the help of Zeki.
And I'm still curious to see if the Woos of the White Forest is going to do something in this turn, because you can special summon and then synchro summon on your opponent's turn. And
okay, that's also probably the reason
tools.
why we negated the Caesar, right?
Yeah,
because we wanted to make sure that is going to work.
It's weird because Null might be in a position where he feels like 2 monsters isn't enough to deal damage, since we have to try and navigate through multiple Runicks in the hand here, especially the searched out Flashing Fire, so it isn't guaranteed that something is summoned. But I think the Phantom of Yubel might guarantee damage,
Dogwood
right?
here?
I mean, we have to,
is this
right?
the effect of Engraver in the Grave?
I assume so.
We got a Dogwood for sure.
I mean, you just Phantom negate, right?
Then that's Phantom gone.
Yeah, but then you can remake it, and then you still have the damage portion of Phantom.
Yeah, fair.
So you just rather want to have it as a discard, or what's the reasoning here?
I think maybe the discard for Dogwood is better, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, clearly that's what Zeki settled for, because he absolutely did not use that.
No, this is genuinely a real back-and-forth technical match here. Both players being tested to the absolute maximum at the peak of competition here at the top 8 cut of 275th YCS here in Lille. And it is impressive to see these players going back and forth in these really, really niche scenarios that I highly doubt they have consistently found themselves in throughout this tournament.
And I think Zeki... I thought he was done. He's activating the Dogwood on Requiem effect, so just a little bit later on the same monster that is supposed to be summoned here. We're not even negating that.
No way. We let that through?
We didn't negate with Phantom?
There's no way.
Phantom is absolutely live, right?
I think so. We used curses on what? Wave King Caesar?
There is no Rairatora on the field. I can't tribute that.
I mean, possibly there is the chance that there is no more Yubel cards to destroy in our main deck because they banished all of them with
Did we cycle
Runicks?
through all of them, maybe?
They banished cards with Runicks, possibly? I don't know.
All right, we just need to put everything into attack here and do more than 18. Does the OG Yubel deal damage when it attacks? I think it does, yeah? With the Nightmare Pain specifically. Yeah, so the issue is I don't think Zeki has enough to prevent this, so while he's ahead on life, he is in danger of just taking so much here. It's nowhere near game, but it's a lot of damage, and I don't know how he's going to recuperate from this. Here's the Desiree. There's 28. What do we do about 28?
We got to prevent it.
You can activate the Woos to block one of the big attackers.
Yeah. I mean, Oh, okay, Slumber first of all. Good enough. And the thing is, as soon as you summon out a monster to stop one of the big attacks, that monster is going to be destroyed by battle, and therefore then the Yubel and the Phantom of Yubel don't really do damage anymore as the monster is gone, right? So I feel like we might be able to get enough monsters out here to prevent all of the attacks, realistically.
Are we not trying to get back the Fountain?
I mean, that just gets negated by Phantom of Yubel and then the Gary... I mean, no, it doesn't get destroyed.
If you just attack with both Yubels, that's enough damage.
Yeah, true.
Was the defense of Jerry 1,000?
1,000, yeah. We could just choose not to replay. Yes, we
that's
do
what
that.
He's doing. Okay, 1,000 damage, so...
That is Yubel.
88 on Zeki's side.
Do we lose here? Because I think now that we have basically blocked the attack of the Desiree, we're taking 1,000 damage.
And on the second one, there
flashing
is
fire
the
on the
flashing
Phantom.
fire on the Phantom.
That is so strong.
So the life points, yeah, 88. So Zeki's ahead by 800. Flashing fire destroying the Phantom of Yubel. Managed 2 off the top here. That's a Lurry we've lost. And an Engraver.
But I mean, Nightmare Throne can just bring back another Yubel monster now, right? I think that's probably... Yeah, Nightmare Throne effect will just bring one back,
really
and that's
bad.
a pretty bad trade then, honestly. Because that's a monster of 0 attack, not gaining any life points through Darkwood, but having another monster to attack into the Gary. There it is!
Spirit of Yubel. If this connects, then Null's ahead.
Yeah.
And Zeki doesn't look like he calculated with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that was a misplay for sure. Probably forgetting the effect, the other effect of Throne here. An attack is declared.
yes, and I mean, we were thinking, okay, they didn't use Phantom of Yubel, possibly there are no more Yubel monsters in the deck, but of course, the Nightmare Throne can summon from the Banishment, and therefore there is the Spirit of Yubel coming back. And I do believe, because that came from the Banishment, there probably was no way to activate the effect of Phantom of Yubel legally anymore.
Can we use Woes to make the Book of Moon?
No, I think the Book of Moon is a level 7, and you only have level 4s. And oh wait, no, this is a level 6.
It is a level 6, yeah, for sure.
Is this not
Wait.
possible? Wow, we're...
This kind of...
We
looks-
are ahead in life points, though. The attack of Spirit of Yubel has went through. Look at that.
Wow.
Zeki is at 7,800 life points, and therefore behind in life.
But if it is not going further than 7,800, there is just a Moonin that is necessary for Zeki.
We're still attacking with the Caesar, though, right now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we also need to stop
Zeki.
Caesar here.
We need to.
And we need to stop Engraver, right? I
Okay,
think-
we sent Engraver with the Gary. Okay.
Why didn't we send the Caesar?
Valid question. Maybe Caesar can't attack because
Did we slumber it?
might be.
We didn't we slumber?
We must have slumbered something, and I mean,
It must be slumbered.
yeah, it definitely was slumbered. Oh wait, no, didn't we?
Because it was cursed. I knew it was freezing cursed.
It's not slumbered.
But no, we used slumber to summon, though, right?
That's a
or
good
is there
point,
another
yeah.
runic spell? There isn't, right? No. Nothing was slumbered, I'm pretty
This
sure.
has been a really long turn, let's say that.
Yeah.
But no attack came through. Look, that Samsara Lotus is signalizing we are in the end phase, and therefore we are giving play back over to Zeki, and the life points of Zeki are only down to 7,800, meaning... Wait, is there no more Runick?
But calm down for a second because there is now 20 negates live.
Yeah, of course, of course.
There is a negate from Desiree and 2 Solo Mornings from Caesar and the Yubel negate. And somehow, some way, we have to find 200 damage without a battle phase. The only win condition I can think of is a Moonin being forced out.
And shall I give you bad news?
Go on.
Shall I give you really bad news? We were talking about Moonin non-stop. Zeki didn't talk about Moonin enough in his preparations. There is no Moonin in his extra deck or side deck.
Huh.
Yeah, there you are surprised, huh? Left speechless.
Strange card to not play in a deck that goes to time.
But, of course, there
consistently.
is the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, still a very viable option. There is triple tactic talents.
From
Are
the
we
bottom.
finding those cards now?
It just
Talents to
came
draw,
from the
surely?
bottom.
We get to draw again.
Desiree negate.
Runic Destruction. Okay,
This is-
okay,
There's
okay.
so many draws. This is
draw
5 draws.
This is okay.
There's no way.
This is the anime effect of card demise.
Zeki, you are crazy
What a
in this.
madman. It's resolving.
Wow.
No way. 1, 2. Pick them up with the triple tactic
And banish off
talents.
the top here.
imagine he just went to draw 5 now in this situation.
Runick
or-
Fountain.
Yeah, you do need to put them back, I suppose.
Oh, Droll and Lockbird though! That's not a draw 5 when there's Droll and Lockbird being activated as a chain link to the Runick Fountain, of course.
That is incredible.
Wow.
The Droll and Lockbird on the new chain. Of course, it's not just an immediate draw 5. You have to wait till the new chain, activate the fountain, provide your targets, and then the Droll and Lockbird is chained, preventing the fountain from resolving.
And it's only runic spells. Those aren't going to cut it. Those aren't going to get you into the big Scarlight Dragon. This is looking grim for Zeki. All of a sudden, he fought his way back into this
Look at the shake
multiple
of the
times.
head.
And he's looking
He knows
sad.
it's over.
The last options are considered by Zeki. Is Noel going to advance to the
GG,
semifinals?
it's
And he
over.
scoops it up!